What if I told you that one ordinary woman in the 1960s started speaking fluent ancient Greek, a language she had never studied, while channeling a voice that revealed classified CIA operations decades before they became public? Crazy, right? But here's the part that sends chills down your spine. Every word she said was documented, tested, and never proven false. That woman was Jane Roberts, and the voice she channeled called itself Seth. What began as a strange experiment quickly became one of the most shocking cases of verified psychic phenomena ever recorded. But the real story isn't about predictions, secret files, or CIA surveillance. It's about what Seth revealed about you, about the true nature of reality, and how your mind, right now, is literally scripting the world you live in. And by the end of this video, you'll have the same tools Seth taught methods to bend reality itself. So sit tight. What you're about to hear might sound like science fiction, but once you understand it, nothing about your life will ever look the same again. The encounter that shook science. Jane Roberts wasn't a mystic or a psychic. She was an artist, a writer, and a skeptic. One evening in 1963, while experimenting with ESP for a book she was writing, something strange happened. She felt a presence. Her voice changed, her posture shifted, and words started pouring out, words she didn't consciously know. Her husband, Robert Butts, wrote everything down. And from that night on, this presence called Seth began delivering messages that would shake the foundations of science and religion alike. Seth spoke of things no one in the room could have possibly known. He diagnosed illnesses before doctors did. He predicted earthquakes down to the day. He described classified CIA experiments in exact detail, years before they were ever made public. At first, people dismissed Jane as delusional, but then something happened that no skeptic could explain. A Yale psychologist visited her, determined to expose her as a fraud. After 4 hours of questioning, he left pale and silent. Why? Because Seth had just spoken to him in Russian and repeated the last words his dead mother had ever said. Jane didn't know Russian. She didn't even know the man's mother existed. It was the kind of evidence that made even scientists scratch their heads. The hidden blueprint of reality. But Seth wasn't trying to impress anyone. He wasn't performing tricks. He was delivering something far more dangerous, truth. He said, reality isn't out there. It's being projected from within you. Everything you see, your room, your body, your relationships, your bank account, it's all a mirror reflecting your beliefs. You don't live inside a universe. The universe lives inside your consciousness. Let that sink in for a second. Because if this is true, then every problem you've ever had isn't happening to you. It's happening through you. Seth said something that completely flips modern science upside down. You do not have thoughts because you have a brain. You have a brain because consciousness chose to create one. In other words, consciousness isn't a side effect of biology. It's the source code of existence itself. Matter doesn't create mind. Mind creates matter. Think of it like this. Your beliefs are the slides in a projector, and physical reality is the movie playing on the screen. If you don't like what you see, running up to the screen to change it is useless. You have to change the slide. That's why most people spend their lives trying to fix external problems, money, love, success, but nothing really changes. Because they're trying to repaint the movie screen instead of rewriting the film. The prison of belief. Seth said the most powerful prison ever built has no bars. It's made entirely of beliefs. From childhood, you were programmed by parents, teachers, religion, society, and without realizing it, you accepted their commands as truth. Money is evil. Don't get your hopes up. Life is hard. These phrases aren't harmless, they're code. They instruct your subconscious on how to build your reality. And here's the scary part. Once those beliefs are installed, they start projecting outward. Your fear of rejection attracts people who reject you. Your belief that life is unfair attracts endless unfairness. Your doubt in your own worth manifests as constant struggle. It's not punishment, it's programming. But Seth said something that changes everything. A program can be rewritten. A prison made of beliefs disappears the moment you realize you built it. So, how do you break free? You stop fighting the outside world and start reprogramming the inside one. The blank slate meditation. This was the first forbidden protocol Seth gave away to temporarily escape the simulation. Here's how it works. Find a quiet place. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Now begin erasing everything you think you are. Erase your name. Erase your gender. Erase your job, your story, your failures, even your triumphs. Keep going until all that's left is pure awareness, no labels, no history, no identity. And from that emptiness, ask one question. If I could create myself from scratch right now, who would I choose to be? Don't force an answer. Just feel. Somewhere in that silence, a glimpse of your real self appears, the version of you that existed before the world told you who you're supposed to be. Do this daily, and slowly the false layers begin to crumble. You stop reacting. You stop fearing. You begin remembering. Because what Seth wanted us to see was that we've been hypnotized not by technology, not by governments, but by our own thoughts. The lie of linear time. The biggest illusion, Seth said, is time. We've been taught that life moves in one direction from past to present to future. But that's just how your brain organizes data. In truth, all moments exist simultaneously. Your childhood, your present, your future, they're all happening now. It's like a film reel. Every frame already exists. You're just experiencing them one at a time. That means your past isn't fixed. It's alive because you keep replaying it with your attention. And since your consciousness exists in the eternal now, you can literally rewrite the past. This isn't fantasy. It's energy. Every time you recall a painful memory, you're feeding that version of the past with your focus, keeping it alive. But if you consciously rewrite it, you withdraw your energy and redirect it into a new timeline. The revision technique. Seth's second protocol was called revision, and Neville Goddard, another mystic of the same era, taught something strikingly similar. Here's how Seth described it. Before you sleep, mentally review your day in reverse from evening back to morning. If you encounter a painful or embarrassing moment, stop. Now, rewrite it. See it play out the way you wish it had gone. Feel the joy, the relief, the satisfaction as if it actually happened. Then move on. Do this every night. At first, it feels like pretending, but slowly, your subconscious accepts the new version as real, and your external life rearranges itself to match. It's not about lying to yourself. It's about changing the energetic blueprint that your consciousness uses to project your reality. Remember, everything you call the past is just a memory vibrating in your now. Change the vibration and the entire movie changes. The master key, the power of now. Seth said the system's greatest trick is distraction, keeping you trapped in regret about the past or fear about the future. Why? Because neither exists. And if you're trapped in them, you have no power. Your only real power is now. The present moment is the control room of creation. Every time you return your awareness to it, you reclaim your throne. Whenever you catch yourself drifting, repeat the phrase, "My point of power is now." Feel it not as a thought, but as a physical pull of energy back into your body. When you do that, the noise fades. The anxiety quiets. You remember that you are the one projecting this reality. This simple act is one of the most powerful tools in existence because it breaks the illusion that you're a victim. You're not. You're the author. The inner sound technique. Seth taught that every consciousness vibrates with a unique frequency, a tone that represents your essence. To find it, sit in silence and listen, not with your ears, but with your being. You'll start to notice a faint hum beneath your thoughts. That's you. That's the sound of your consciousness. The more you tune into it, the stronger it becomes. And soon, it becomes your anchor. Whenever fear, doubt, or chaos tries to pull you back into the illusion, return to that inner hum. It's the sound of truth, your proof that beneath all the noise, there's something eternal and unbreakable inside you. Why this matters? You might wonder, what difference does any of this make? The answer is everything. You've been taught that life happens to you, that you're a product of genetics, luck, and circumstance. But Seth's message flips that on its head. You are the source code of your life. Every thought, every emotion, every belief is a line of code shaping your experience. When you understand this, you stop being a spectator and start being a creator. Your relationships shift. Your health improves. Opportunities start appearing out of nowhere. Because nothing out there changes, you change. And the mirror of reality reflects it instantly. What you've just heard is only the beginning. In part 2, we'll go deeper into probable selves, parallel realities, and how you can literally download wisdom from alternate versions of yourself who've already achieved what you desire. It sounds unbelievable, but by the end of this journey, you'll have the exact blueprint to rewrite not just your story, but reality itself. Because Seth's greatest secret wasn't about predicting the future. It was about creating it. And the moment you remember that, you stop being human and start being what you truly are. Consciousness, dreaming itself awake. You made it to part 2. Good. Because what comes next isn't theory, it's the practical stuff. If part 1 was the wake-up call, this is the control panel. We're going to talk about the strangest truth Seth hammered again and again. You're not a single, lonely, self-walking one path. You're a multi-version being living many paths right now. And you can learn to pull skills, confidence, timing, and outcomes from those other versions of you on purpose. Sounds wild? Fair. But don't run. Keep your mind open for a few minutes more. If what follows even half works for you, your day-to-day life will start to feel rigged in your favor. Probable selves, the yous you haven't met yet. Let's start clean. Every time you reach a fork, call the person or stay quiet. Apply for the role or let it pass. Speak your truth or swallow it, reality branches. The you know continues on the route you picked, but another equally real you takes the other one. That version isn't a cartoon or a fantasy. It's alive in the wider field of your consciousness. So there is a you who kept the habit, a you who broke it, a you who said yes, a you who said no, a you with fierce confidence and a steady bank account, a you who's already living the outcome you want. Here's the curveball. Those versions aren't sealed away. They're connected to you like rooms in a mansion, doors unlocked, lights on. You can step into their room, borrow their posture, their timing, their certainty. Seth called this the wider identity. You're not stealing, you're sharing. All those paths belong to the same larger you. If you accept that even as a test, just try it for a week. You'll stop thinking like a beggar at life's table and start thinking like the host. Protocol, the quantum download. This is the headline technique. Use it tonight. First, choose one desire you're ready to treat as non-negotiable for the next 72 hours. Keep it simple and crisp. Money goal? Fine. Health shift? Great. Creative spark? Perfect. Pick one. Second, lie down or sit comfortably. Dim the lights. Breathe until your body gets heavy and your mind goes quiet enough to hear a whisper. Now speak clearly in your mind, like you're issuing orders to your own field. I am connecting now with the version of me who has already mastered say the thing. I request your core approach, your patterns that work, and the mood that made it normal for you. Don't beg. Don't plead. State it like you're dialing an internal extension you own. Because you are. Then listen. Not everyone hears words. Some feel a pull to do one tiny thing they usually ignore. Some see a quick image. Some get a sentence written across the mind like a subtitle. Some feel a body cue, chest loosens, jaw softens. Hands want to move. Whatever shows up, treat it as instructions, not decoration. For 72 hours, you act on those nudges without debate. Call the person. Trash the old plan. Change the routine. Do the odd thing. Your ego will argue. It's fine. Thank it and move. The bridge between you and that other self is built through action, not theory. 2 expectations to set right now. The first signal is often small. Tiny moves rewire probability fast. Results snowball. Day 1 feels subtle. Day 3 can feel like a door clicking open. Keep a notepad by the bed. Dreams will start carrying data. Write them the second you wake. Don't decode them like a detective novel. Just record. The meaning lands later, usually in the shower or while stirring tea when your guard is down. Borrowing state before skill. Here's a trick that speeds everything up. Copy the state, not just the steps. People want tactics. Tactics without state collapse under pressure. So before you ask for strategies, ask for the mood of the already there you. What does that version of you feel like at rest? Calm? Light? Playful? Slightly amused? Like the outcome is obvious? Load that feeling first. Actions will line up on their own. Think of it as choosing the right station on a radio before you try to sing along. A simple way to tune in. Place one hand on your chest, one on your belly. Breathe slow and say, I'm borrowing the default mood of my successful self for the next hour. Then notice the body posture that comes with it and keep it while you work. Shoulders drop. Face softens. Eyes steady. That's the suit. Wear it. Protocol, previewing futures at night. You've got a decision coming? Perfect. You sleep like an airport lounge between realities. Before bed, sit for 3 minutes. Name the 2 options out loud. Path A, accept the offer. Path B, decline and build my own thing. Keep it short. Then say, tonight, show me how each path feels after 6 months. You're not asking for a storyboard, you're requesting the felt tone of each choice. When you wake, grab whatever fragments you recall, colors, textures, a random sentence, the way your body feels. Maybe path A tasted like metal and felt tight in your ribs. Maybe path B felt like sun on skin, with an image of a wide road. That's enough. Your nervous system speaks in tone. Do this for 3 nights max. If the tone is still muddy, the question is too big. Break it into a smaller move and ask again. Coordinate points where reality is thin. Seth spoke about times and places where thought turns into form faster. You've brushed them without naming them. Let's name them now. There are moments when the front door of the analytical mind stands ajar, the threshold just before sleep, the first 2 minutes after waking, the stretch of focus when you lose track of minutes, the smear of quiet after a good cry, the warm wash of gratitude that shows up out of now hair. These are windows. You've got more power there. There are places too, your cousin's back porch where ideas always land, that one cafe table where strangers smile at you, the park bench where you finally forgave someone. a corner of your room where the air hums different. Those are personal hotspots. Old cultures found public ones and built temples over them. But you don't need a plane ticket. Your nervous system can feel when a spot is charged. Goosebumps for no reason. Unusual peace. A flash of déjà vu. Use those spots. Make decisions there. Speak intentions there. Breathe there. When you hit a coordinate point in time or space, pause. Drop whatever mundane thought loop you were running and do the thing that matters most. Speak the wish fulfilled. Request the download. Revise the memory. 10 seconds in the right window can beat an hour of pushing in ordinary time. The 4 power windows, use them daily. Twilight, right before sleep / just after waking. You're between floors in the mind's elevator. The guard is off his stool. Plant seeds here. One sentence said with feeling is plenty. Not, I want. Not, I hope. But it is done. I am living it. Then drift. Flow during focused creation, when you're painting, coding, lifting, playing, cooking, anything that eats minutes like candy. Your outside clock time. Whisper your directive here. Results stick because your whole system is tuned. Heart heat, sudden gratitude or love, don't waste it. When warmth swells in your chest, speak your line. That frequency carries far. The quiet whole, deep stillness and meditation, no words required. Just hold the finished scene for a few breaths and let it melt into nothing. The field heard you. Stack these with the download protocol and the effect multiplies. Time expansion bending the minute. You've said it 100 times. There isn't enough time. What if that belief is the bottleneck? Here's the drill. Set a 10-minute timer. Close your eyes and announce, these 10 minutes are spacious. I have all the psychological time I need to choose one task. Now, feel the room widen. See the wall clock slowing down in your mind. Start the task learning, healing, planning without rushing. When the timer rings, you'll swear you had an hour. This isn't a party trick. It changes your nervous system's story about urgency. Once your body learns that time can stretch, panic loosens its grip. You perform better because you're not fighting the clock you invented. Use this before hard conversations, before exams, before interviews, before workouts. The body hears the order and obeys. How to stop scrambling your signal. A quick warning. Mixed signals jam results. You plant a seed at night. I'm already healthy. Then spend the day telling 3 people about your symptoms. You set a money intention, then scroll for an hour feeding on other people's wins and your own envy. That's like pressing the gas and the brake together while yanking the wheel. For 1 week, run a clean experiment. Choose one outcome. Frame it in the present. Keep your mouth shut about it unless you're taking a step. Limit doom scroll. Limit venting. Every time you're tempted to argue for your limitation, close your eyes and say, "Old program, no entry." That line alone can save a day. Revision, upgraded, not just events, identities. You already learned the nightly reverse review. Here's a deeper cut. Pick a period that still aches: high school years when you shrank, the job where your voice died, the breakup that taught you to doubt. Don't just fix single scenes. Reweave the whole era. Enter it like a film director with a bigger budget. New teachers appear. A mentor spots your spark. A friend shows up at lunch and sits with you daily. Your room has sunlight and art on the walls. You try things. You are met with warmth. See it so clearly that your body shifts, jaw unhooks. Breath deepens. A weight slides off your shoulders. Keep returning until the emotional trigger around the old story is neutral. You're not erasing history. You're retiring a script you don't need to keep running. Watch what changes in the present. People who represent the old era stop calling. New invitations appear. You walk into a room and don't look for the exit. That's not coincidence. That's code pushed to production. The body as a collaborator. Seth didn't treat the body like a dumb machine. He treated it like a partner with its own knowing. Talk to it. Pick an area that needs attention: knee, skin, gut, sleep. Place a palm there. Say thank you first. Then give clear, simple instructions. We're releasing the tension pattern from that week last winter. Return to the original plan. Bring circulation and ease. Then picture the area as bright and soft. Stay with it for 90 seconds. That's long enough for the body to get the memo. Will you grow a new limb? No, but you can shift pain, reduce flare-ups, change cravings, speed recovery. Pair this with choices that match the new story and you'll call it luck. It isn't. It's cooperation. Money, confidence, love, same architecture. Let's translate all of this into everyday categories, so it doesn't feel like a cloud of nice ideas. Money. Instead of staring at numbers like they're an enemy, tune the mood first. Borrow the state of the version of you who treats money like water, neutral, flowing, available. From that mood, take one bold but sane action a day. Send the pitch, test the offer, raise the price, learn the skill, block 2 hours to build the asset. Speak the nightly line, clients already exist in my field. We're easy to find. Then stop stalking the outcome. Stalking screams scarcity. Confidence. Confidence isn't a trait. It's a habit of attention. The confident self notices wins and shrugs at stumbles. Start keeping a small list of proof by your bed, 3 lines a night. I spoke clearly. I said no. I sent the email. That list grows like compound interest. You'll feel it in 2 weeks. Love. Revision is a lifesaver here. Recast old stories about how people treat you. Remove the old role you've been playing in your head. Then use coordinate points to set the tone during heart heat moments. Say, I'm easy to love and I give it easily. Watch how your face changes when you say it. That face walks into rooms for you. How to recognize a download V's. Doubt. You'll ask, how do I know if it's guidance or my own noise? Here's a filter. Downloads arrive quiet and matter of fact, like they've already happened. Doubt arrives loud with a slideshow of potential disasters. Downloads feel slightly lighter in the belly or chest, even if they nudge you toward a scary move. Doubt tightens your neck and revs your heart. If you're torn, do this. Stand up, name option A out loud, and take 2 slow breaths. Notice your body's micro signal. Does your weight center forward or back? Then name option B, 2 breaths, and check again. Your body keeps score. Let it vote. The social field, you're not a bubble. You're plugged into a shared field. That's why rooms have moods and crowds can tilt you without a single word. Use it on purpose. Once a week, pick a mass event in the news that aches. Sit. Ask, what pattern in me matches this? Maybe it's scarcity. Maybe it's control. Do something tiny in your life that sends the opposite signal. Give a little. Listen more. Soften your stance. Then take 60 seconds to see the situation reaching the best plausible outcome. Not a fairy tale, the best plausible. You'll feel a click in your chest when you hit it. That's your contribution. It's not corny. It's physics. Attention is power. When nothing happens, yet, you'll have days when the signals feel flat and the world looks stubborn. 2 notes here. First, nothing is a signal to. Those are reset days. Run the basics. Point of power now. Blank slate for 5 minutes. 1 clean task. Bed early. Boring saves lives. Second, the field has lag. You changed the code yesterday. The render might land tomorrow. Don't tear up the seeds because the soil looks quiet. A short story to ground this. There's a guy I know, call him Arjun, who used to freeze on client calls. His voice would thin out, and he'd discount before anyone asked. He tried scripts, podcasts, pep talks, no luck. Then he started playing with the download. Every night for a week, he connected to the version of himself who speaks clean and charges full price. The first nudge: stand up for calls. The second: place a mirror behind the screen so you can see your posture. The third arrived in a dream. He walked into a room, shook hands, and said his number, then fell silent. He woke up with the sentence, say the number and shut up. He did those 3 small things. Week 1, nothing. Week 2, he held price once. Week 3, 3 new clients at full rate. Same skill set, same market, different state, different branch of self. It wasn't magic. It was alignment with a nearby version of himself who already lived that way. Ritual that takes 7 minutes. Here's a tiny daily stack that ties this all together. Minute 1, 1 slow breath with the sentence, my point of power is now. Minute 2, hand on chest. Load the mood of the already there self. Minutes 3-4, speak your one-line outcome in present tense during that mood. Minute 5, request the next tiny step and wait for 1 nudge. Minute 6, do it immediately, even if it takes 30 seconds. Minute 7, close with a thank you and walk away. No overwatering. Do this for 7 days. Your proof will be small but clear, timely calls. A piece of information landing at the right hour. A stubborn habit loosening. That's the field responding. Common traps, so you don't step in them. Don't keep testing yourself. People love to set 10 goals to see if it works. That splits your signal. Choose 1 aim per 72-hour window. Don't argue with the method while doing it. Suspicion has its time, but not during the drill. Play full out for a week, then evaluate. Don't hunt for signs like a starved raccoon. Signs show up when you're busy doing the next step. Smile when they land and keep moving. Don't confuse patience with passivity. Patience means steady steps. Passivity means doom scrolling between affirmations. One moves the needle. The other feeds the old story. What you will start to notice. People speak to you differently. You feel less hooked by old triggers. Coincidences cluster. Work feels like it has handles. Sleep deepens. Food choices get cleaner without a fight. You stop narrating your limits to anyone who will listen. Your posture changes. Strangers trust you. Friends ask, "What are you doing differently?" You'll want to give them a 10-minute answer. Don't say new routine and smile. Why keep it brief? Because words scatter energy. Action condenses it. A word on humility and power. This path doesn't make you a god over other people. It returns you to your seat within your own sphere. True power is quiet. It doesn't need to dominate. It sets a tone and lets the world sort itself around that tone. You'll still face challenges. Life isn't a vending machine, but you won't meet them as the same person. You'll feel options where before you saw a wall. That's the win. You've learned how to borrow from your other selves, how to preview futures at night, how to use windows in time and place, and how to stretch a minute so your nervous system stops running from a clock that isn't chasing you. If you use even one of these daily, the film on your screen will start to change quietly at first, then all at once. Part 3 is where we go all the way. We'll tackle the heaviest topics people use to scare and control God, soul, and evil, and we'll replace the old stories with something truer and far more stable. We'll also cover direct dialogue with Source, and a simple way to take part in healing the collective without getting lost in the noise. If you're ready, say the line out loud before we continue. I am the author. Then we'll finish this. You've stayed till now, and that already tells me something about you. You're not here just to collect ideas. You're here because something deep inside you remembers the truth. That small whisper that says, "There's more to life than the story I've been told." Part 3 isn't about more information. It's about remembering what you already are before the programming, before the fear, before the guilt. Seth called this final stage graduation. So let's finish what we started. The empty throne, the truth about God. For thousands of years, humanity has been kneeling before an invisible throne. A bearded man in the sky, a punisher, a ruler, a cosmic accountant tallying your sins. And that story has done its job control. Because when you believe power exists outside you, you spend your life asking for permission. But here's what Seth revealed, and brace yourself, because once you see this, you can't unsee it. That throne, empty. There is no separate ruler watching you from above. The divine isn't out there. It's the force flowing through you. You are not a creation apart from God, you are God expressing as you. Think of the ocean. Every wave looks different, some tall, some small, some calm, some wild. But all of them are still made of the same water. That's you, a wave in the infinite ocean of creation, temporarily pretending to be separate. Once you grasp that, prayer changes. You stop begging and start commanding. You stop worshiping and start creating. You realize that the power you were praying to has been beating inside your chest the whole time. Seth called this source all that is. It isn't a person. It's the feel of infinite intelligence that everything, including you, emerges from. And when you stop treating it like a distant parent and start communicating with it as an extension of yourself, something astonishing happens. Reality starts responding in real time. The forbidden protocol, direct dialogue with Source. Here's how Seth told people to connect with that infinite intelligence. Not by chanting, not by rituals, not by worship, but by conversation. Find a quiet space, close your eyes, and speak not to the sky, but to the vast intelligence that's hearing these words through your own awareness. Ask, "What should I know right now?" Then stop. Listen. You might not hear words. You might get a wave of warmth, an image, a sudden memory, or a pull toward a certain action. That's how the source speaks, through nudges, not thunder. You can also express gratitude, not because it pleases some deity, but because gratitude tunes your frequency to creation itself. When you say thank you for something before it happens, you're aligning with the timeline where it already exists. Every time you do this, your connection strengthens. It's like learning to tune a radio. At first, you hear static. Then the signal comes through clear. This is not manifesting. It's not asking the universe. It's communion you talking to the deeper layers of yourself. The soul, you're not who you think you are. You've been taught that your soul is this fragile, glowing marble tucked inside your body, born when you were, dying when you die. That's a cute story, but it's wrong. Seth described the soul not as a thing, but as a process, a constantly expanding field of awareness that expresses itself through countless lives, dimensions, and experiences all at once. Your soul isn't something you have, it's something you are becoming. You're not here to pass a test or earn salvation. You're here to experience creation from the inside, to learn what it's like to be limited, scared, thrilled, lost, and then awake again. Every failure, every heartbreak, every regret, they're not marks against you. They're expansions of you. Because the soul doesn't care about good or bad. It cares about growth. When you understand this, guilt dissolves. You stop fearing judgment and start learning from experience. Death stops being a monster under the bed. It becomes what it actually is, a costume change. When this life ends, consciousness simply focuses elsewhere. You've done it 1,000 times. So no, you don't need saving. You need remembering. Healing the vehicle of the soul. Your body isn't a lump of flesh. It's a smart, responsive instrument built to translate soul energy into physical experience. Every cell listens to you. Every organ follows the blueprint of your thoughts and emotions. Seth said healing begins when you start talking to your body instead of fighting it. Try this right now. Pick a part of your body that needs care. Place your hand on it and speak to it gently. I know you've been carrying old stress. I thank you for doing your best. Now, return to your original design, strong, healthy, and balanced. Don't force belief. Just speak. Then feel love real, physical warmth radiating from your hand into that area. This isn't placebo. It's communication. Your cells are listening. They remember the perfect pattern they were born with. You're simply reminding them. Do this for 5 minutes daily. It sounds small, but you're re-establishing the connection between the architect, your consciousness, and the building, your body. The more you practice, the more responsive the building becomes. The truth of evil, the shadow that never existed. Let's face it. Every religion, every government, every control system needs one thing to survive: fear. Fear of sin, fear of punishment, fear of evil. But Seth tore that illusion apart. He said, evil is not a real force, it's an absence. A void that appears when consciousness forgets its own light. Think of a dark room. You don't fight the darkness with a stick. You just turn on the light. The moment awareness returns, the shadow disappears as if it never existed. That's how evil works. Every cruel act in this world is done by a consciousness that believes it's separate, unloved, powerless. That's why it tries to control or destroy. Not because it's demonic, but because it's terrified. You can't fight darkness by attacking it. That's how the system keeps you busy, always battling ghosts. You dissolve darkness by expanding light through awareness, compassion, and clarity. You don't need to fight demons. You need to stop creating them with your attention. When you stop feeding fear, the so-called monsters lose their food supply. They fade into nothing. That's real power. Forbidden protocol, mass event tuning. You are not separate from the collective. Your personal vibration contributes to the frequency of the entire planet. So when chaos erupts in the world, don't look away in despair, participate consciously. Here's how. Sit quietly. Bring to mind a current global issue: war, hunger, conflict, corruption, anything that weighs on you. Now, don't visualize more horror. Instead, ask yourself, what pattern inside me mirrors this? If you see war, maybe it's the constant inner conflict you have with yourself. If you see greed, maybe it's your own fear of scarcity. Acknowledge it. Then visualize a new pattern, not perfection, but progress. Feel peace in your body as if that external event has already softened. Send that feeling out like a frequency wave. Not as a savior, but as a participant in healing. Even if only 1% of humanity did this sincerely, the entire collective field would shift. You don't heal the world by fighting it. You heal it by becoming whole yourself. The Declaration of Sovereignty. This is where everything we've covered converges. You've learned that reality is a projection of your beliefs. That time is flexible. That there are infinite versions of you. That you can rewrite the past, connect with other selves, and command your present. But knowledge means nothing without embodiment. So here's Seth's final message translated into modern words. The universe bends to those who know they are its authors. Starting today, you stop calling yourself a victim. You stop saying life happens to me. You start saying life happens through me. Here's how you seal it. Every morning before you touch your phone, whisper this line: I am the author. Not I will be. Not I want to be. I am. Because that simple phrase rewires your subconscious faster than any affirmation ever could. It tells the universe, the script is mine now. The 4 commitments of an awakened creator. 1. Guard your mind. From this moment on, every thought that enters your head has to pass a border checkpoint. If it weakens you, dismiss it. If it strengthens you, feed it. You're no longer an open field for mental pollution. 2. Use imagination as a creative tool, not an escape. Imagination is the workshop of reality. Spend time each day feeling your wish fulfilled. Not thinking it, feeling it. Because the subconscious doesn't respond to words, it responds to emotion. 3. Trust the inner voice over the outer noise. Your intuition is your direct internet to the source. No guru, no teacher, no system outranks it. When it speaks, follow even if logic lags behind. 4. Act like it's already true. Reality mirrors consistency. When you act from the new identity, the outer world recalibrates to match. Don't wait for proof. Be the proof. The graduation ritual. Let's make this moment real. Right here, wherever you are. Take a breath. Feel your chest rise and fall. Feel that quiet pulse in your neck. Now say softly, "This is my world." Say it again, slower. This is my world. Look around the room you're in. Every object, every color, every sound is a reflection of your consciousness right now. And that means you can change it. You've been programmed since birth to forget this truth. But today, you remember. You are not a character inside a movie. You are the screen, the projector, and the scriptwriter all at once. The old story is done. The pen is in your hand. And the first line of your new story begins with the words, "I am the author." The ripple effect. You might think you're just one person watching a video, but you're not. You're part of a quiet revolution, a wave of creators remembering their power. Every time you wake up to your own divinity, you shift the timeline for everyone around you. When you heal, others feel permission to heal. When you stand in truth, the lie loses oxygen. This isn't a movement, it's an awakening. And the fact that you're still here means you're part of it. So don't just watch. Live this. Test it. Practice it. The blank slate. The revision. The point of power. The download. The dialogue with source. Each one is a weapon for consciousness. Use them, and when you see reality start bending, because it will share your proof. Not to boast, but to remind others. The door to the prison was never locked. You began this journey hearing about a woman who channeled a being named Seth. But maybe that was never the point. Maybe the real message isn't about Jane Roberts, or the CIA, or predictions. Maybe the real message is about you. The piece of infinite consciousness watching this moment unfold. Realizing that you've been dreaming your own world into being this whole time. And maybe, just maybe, Seth wasn't a separate entity at all. Maybe he was the voice of the greater self, your own expanded consciousness reaching across time to whisper, "Wake up, dreamer. The story was always yours." So now, it's your move. Will you keep reading someone else's script, or finally start writing your own? Because the universe is waiting for your next line. And whatever you write, it will echo across every dimension. So choose wisely. Say it with conviction. I am the author. And watch the world rewrite itself around those words.